am I, oh, there's my bottom third. Look, I got my bottom third.
You're good?
Look at my face all stretched out. Uh-oh.
So, how often do I do scope news? I do it every Sunday.
Can they hear me?
Yeah, they can. Can you guys hear Ryan? You guys should be able to hear Ryan.
What?
You need to watch this on replay. There's some hilarious comments.
Oh my gosh.
Who's hear you?
Okay, yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Should I drop a bomb on everybody? Like should I invite everybody?
Yeah, invite followers so you can get more followers in here.
All right. So look, it's so funny because in my business, we interview people all the time over Google Hangouts. And so it's really funny to actually be on this end. We're typically teaching people how to do the bottom thirds and the voice actor. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna, you can see that. So we'll get started here. And if you want to get started now, or what do you?
Yeah, we're live. So guys, my name's Kathy Hackle, and I am the host of Scope News. I'm also the PR director for Periscope Summit, and I teach at a few universities. And my guest today is Ryan Steinolfson, who is a digital marketer in Santa Monica, and he is
San Diego.
San Diego. What did I say? Santa Monica. Santa Monica. You're in San Diego. That's right. This is multitasking. That's what Heather's saying.
Right.
So yeah, guys. Ryan is a very, very brilliant digital marketer. And he's also what I call the Periscope gear guru. And yeah, so Ryan, can you tell folks a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so I'll tell you a little about myself. So hey everybody. So love SD, I love it too. Thank you. I see Victor Miller there, and this is a good way to do the interviews. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really dying to see the layout that you have there. Okay. Oh, so you can actually. Okay, so I see how you got it. Okay, so basically about me, I'm in San Diego. I can go, I'm not gonna go very far back. I have a digital marketing agency here in San Diego. We have clients all around the world. I primarily help businesses build, basically first build their reputation and then market their business with their reputation. And that's primarily what I do. I also, for years, and this is kind of what I'm known for, is over the years, I've helped my clients, my customers, build or create their YouTube channel and create really good engaging videos. So one of the ways that I do that, and I've done it, is to expand the capabilities of their iPhone by using things like the wide angle lenses, the lavalier mics, all that kind of stuff. And now it's even more applicable to live streaming. I just did a live stream outside over here at the court. I think it's called the Courtyard over here, where they had some live band and everything. And in order for people to be able to see what was really going on, in order to be really engaging, or for people to really be more engaged in the conversation and really get a perspective of what was happening there, I use my wide angle lens. I use my my lavalier mic and all that stuff. All the stuff that I've used for years on my YouTube videos, and I've got like 250,000 views on my YouTube videos that I've been creating over the past 5 years on how to use this stuff. So we've named it the Scope Stack. That's kind of my little, I guess, my claim to fame, I guess, on Periscope, in the Periscope world so far. But basically, I because of my background in digital marketing, I've figured out that this is a very powerful medium in just doing some of this stuff for myself. 300 opt-ins, meaning people that have given me their name and email in the past like 4 weeks, just from people that want the links to the Scope Stack, all the links to the microphones and things like that, which is great for me as a digital marketer because that allows me to create an amazing connection with those people. So those are 300 people that I'm going to be able to send an email to, send a text message to, whenever I want, in order to invite them to my scopes, in order to, which I forgot to do today. I apologize. I forgot to send out a text message about this. I did tweet it earlier, which I'm sure you saw, which is kind of funny, at 7:15 this morning as opposed to 7:15 right now.
It wasn't that early. I was like, no, Ryan, it's in the evening.
I just want you to know I woke up at 6:15 this morning, and I was like, and it was my fault. It's not, I mean, it's totally my fault. So anyway,
And I want to stop you because we're getting lots of really interesting comments. I think people are really excited about what you do, but I think that they really like your background. So they're giving Darcy a shout out with the design, like the bums, you know, the rug is the bum, and like the setup, the shelving, like they're really looking at your office, which I think is awesome.
Oh, really? They're liking the whole backdrop here?
Mm-hmm. Why? Okay, this is a funny question. Why is your office always empty?
Why is my office what?
Always empty. Whenever you do a scope, there's no one in there.
Well, it's the weekend. I mean, if my employees would I try to scope. First of all, it's typically empty because when I'm doing my scopes, it's at either 8 to 9 Eastern Standard Time in the morning or between 10 and 11 o'clock at night on the East Coast. So typically my employees are not already here. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome. Well, yeah, it's funny because they're making comments. Someone said Connor rocks. I think, yeah, Connor rocks. And then Darcy's saying she's still working on your office. And then someone said that they had asked you about why your office was empty. But you're right. That's right. And I usually watch in the afternoons, so I can understand that.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this conversation, which is, let's talk a little bit about what you're seeing as far as brands go, how they're using Periscope or live streaming apps or live broadcasting, whatever you want to call them. What do you see is going on? And then also talk a little bit about how you think brands can use it. So,
okay.
And I'll stop you if we get some really cool questions.
Okay, yeah, and I'm sure there's going to be. I mean, we've got all, David on here and a lot of other people, and right now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right down in front of me here so I can see those questions a little bit better. It's funny how we do when we do these, we learn more every time we do them to make them more efficient and a little bit better, these interviews. But basically, how I see brands using Periscope is, for example, the way that Mountain Dew did, when they first came on right off the bat, and some of these other brands like Red Bull. I mean, that's a natural progression for a company like that because, I mean, that's their mainstream customer is, the 20-something, the 30-something, and same with Mountain Dew. But then you got DKNY, doing, a product launch or going behind the scenes, as somebody had said. Oh, thanks, ABC. So ABC says, love my light box. Yeah, you bet. So basically, that's really cool to be able to offer that kind of a behind the scenes look. And this is where this whole concept of the brand thing came about because of Ryan Bell and I talking about his scope that he did with SanDisk, and it blew my mind when I saw that because he was the producer, he was the questionnaire, he was the person that was interviewing people, and he came into their boardroom basically. I mean, their boardroom, and that's what's so cool about it. It wasn't just out front or him scoping a speech or like Hillary Clinton did, or it was literally him in the boardroom with all the product developers who a lot of times don't get a lot of publicity, but those are the guys that live, eat, and breathe the actual creation of the product, and they've got the passion, and you could just sense it from these guys that were actually being interviewed. The guy was like, yeah, check this out. Look, it was like a kid showing his little toy, like he was like, check this thing out that we developed, and it was the coolest thing. One of the first scopes I saw was Ryan, him scoping a shoe business. It was great. Oh, yeah, that was my next door neighbor. So, but that's what people want to see. They want to talk to those guys and ask the developers the questions. And this is the way to be able to do that live. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of brands that are going to freak out about the fact that it is live, and you can have trolls, and they can, drop the F-bomb here and there, and I mean, it's going to happen. You can turn the comments off. I mean, Alex Pettit and I talked about this when I interviewed him the other day, and I think that the opportunities far outweigh the risks, and I think the opportunity is that the sooner they get on, the better. Just like I see people that now have been on for even a month and a half longer than me, they've got exponentially more numbers of followers than I do. And the reason why is because they've just been on earlier, and they've been engaging, and they've been doing the things that the Ryan Bells and everybody's talking about, which is just making sure that you're looking at your camera and you're reading those comments and you're responding to them. what I'd like to see is I'd like to see a buy button, because when I saw that SanDisk thing as a digital marketer, it really pained me. I mean, it was like, oh my God.
I want to buy. I remember because I saw it, people were like, I want to buy this. Where do I buy this? And if they would have been like, if there would have been a buy button or something, like it would have been so much more effective for that brand.
So much. I mean, you have like, everybody was all like just ready to buy. I mean, they were like, they had seen all that, they were talking to the product experts, for goodness sakes, like for 1 year from now. Yeah, exactly. So they wanted it. So what the goal is to have like the equivalent of like a periscope.ryan.com. And that's what I drew up here on the board. You know, after I talked to Ryan Bell, you know, and I'll show you here, I can kind of turn my big monitor. I got this new iMac here, so it's like turning the Titanic. It's like, yeah. You know, but so anyway, so you know, the bottom line is that you know, something like, you know, text SanDisk, text whatever, you know, cool product A to 58885. I mean, it's a smartphone. Texting is so easy. They get opted in. They go that immediately. They get a link to a buy button, or they get a link to go to a blog post, or they get a link now. Yeah.
No, and it's great. I think it's great because it's really about, they're already on their phone. You know, most of the people that are on Periscope are going to be on their phone. So it's mobile. You know, it's mobile marketing. You can go out of the scope, text it, come back to the scope if they want to, and then go from there. And I think it's brilliant use. So really, Ryan really knows his stuff. Yeah, he is amazing, guys. He's a mastermind.
Well, I mean, here's the bottom line. I mean, it's just I've just been doing digital marketing for a little while. I mean, what really is the need that these guys have is the equivalent of my scope stack. They need the equivalent, something that they can exchange, that they can give, so that the person that maybe even doesn't want to buy but wants more information, they can get what I refer to as a lead magnet. And that these are just basic principles in the digital marketing world that, you know, I mean, it's the equivalent of saying, hey, you know, my name's Ryan, you know, and then and you know, here's the links. My name's Ryan, and then that person then gives you their information back, the equivalent of them saying, hey, my name's consumer XYZ, you know. And then when there's that digital handshake, if you will, then you can go and progress the relationship from there. And it only happens preparation met opportunity in Ryan's case. Yeah.
Definitely true. And David was making an interesting point. He was saying, you know, like Dropbox has thousands of followers, but hasn't done a scope yet. And it's true. I've seen lots of brands, especially like news, news outlets or whatever, that have lots and lots of followers, but don't really have, you know, have done a scope. But that's just the factor that it's linked to Twitter.
Yes.
So, you know.
It's a big deal. And I admittedly have not, because I have my staff doing the tweeting and and all the Instagramming and all that kind of stuff typically, or for my clients. So I don't really, you know, I don't get that involved in it too much. Cheers, you two. Oh, thanks. So, oh, no way. We got Franzo in the house. So
yeah, Franzo's in the house, and I think Lisa's in the house too.
Oh, cool. Lisa who?
Liza Morales. I think she's in here. I'm not sure.
Okay, cool. So glad you guys could join. I'm wondering what I would love to have Franzo even jump in here and see and jump in on the hangout too, possibly, and give his insight into, because basically what I've been saying, I don't know how long he's been on, but bottom line is that, you know, there is a huge opportunity to leverage, and obviously it's tough with these brands because a lot of times they've got so much red tape. And I think, and here's the real opportunity for us, you know, yourself, myself, the guys that are doing digital marketing is to do what Ryan Bell did and walk in as an external consultant and say, hey, look, here's how you do it. I'll come in. It's a little bit less threatening to them. It's kind of interesting how that works. Basically, just by them bringing somebody in, it's like, okay, they're the experts, so it's okay. If they did it internally, they'd probably have to go through, I think they probably have to go through more red tape. And so anyway, I think that's that's the opportunity for us.
That's interesting. Lisa, I think it's Lisa or Liza, I'm not sure, but Lisa actually just spoke about a panel yesterday about this. She's been doing scopes for brands like Ford. I mean, she's actually out there doing a lot of the scoping for brands. So she's a great person to have in here. Yes. But again, you know, I think that there's a lot of apprehension. There's a lot of fear, like Brian was saying here, they just don't know. They don't want to be exposed for not knowing. So I think that, for example, these platforms are going to be amazing for influencer marketing, because it's going to be the perfect situation where you're going to have to find that influencer that aligns with your brand or whatever to show, you know, to broadcast your message. So and I missed Brian's comment. Seems to be
resting on old books.
What did Brian say?
Yeah, it seems to be fear factor is holding them back. It is. It's the fear factor, Liza, for sure. And here, there's really two things that we're talking about here. One is them actually leveraging it themselves to actually get their message out there, and then then the other thing is also them basically just selling their product. It's a big opportunity for influencers to step in. Okay, here's what I'm wondering, and this is what I wanted to. And this is what Alex Pettit and I actually talked about the other day. Is everybody wants to know how to get sponsors. Okay, how do we as scopers, get sponsors? I'm wondering if Liza has any, but ultimate grassroots ideal, imagine the possibilities. I agree about the legal concerns. Yeah. What do we? Oh, Kim Garst is on.
Yeah, lots of amazing folks in this scope right now. Thanks for joining, guys. And for you guys that are just joining. We're talking about how brands can use Periscope, and my guest on Scope News tonight is Ryan Steinolfson, and this will be available on my YouTube channel afterwards.
Yes, very smart doing it the way that you did, by the way, with over Hangout. I've used Skype just because I can see the entire. I like it. It's great discussion, Kim, and Franz. I want to see what you think, and Liza, I want to see what you think about.
That is an awesome comment. I have to totally agree with you. And I agree, Kim is a social selling mastermind also, and she's in here and she's doing really amazing things on Periscope as well. And like I said, Liza has been, she's actually doing scopes for brands. Okay. So it is a huge platform for influencers like we're talking about. I mean, we've got Brian Fanzo, we've got lots of folks in here. Very, very excited to have all these people in here.
Yeah.
But yeah, what are you seeing? Maybe Ryan, talk a little bit about what you're seeing that is being done right, and maybe some things that have been done wrong. Like, what do you think people can do better?
And somebody just made a comment about it's about reputation, because that is you're in my backyard when you're talking reputation. Because hey Courtney, it is really a good group. I welcome your input. But bottom line is one of the biggest opportunities, and the thing that I think that I see that brands aren't doing is asking for more feedback from their clients, from their customers, from their fans. There's social proof is one of the biggest. Social proof is one of the biggest opportunities for these guys. Big fan of both. Thank you. Because ultimately, and this is what blew my mind, and this is what if brands wrap their head around this opportunity, it's going to totally shift the way they do things. Because what they have is they've got these comments streaming in, and this opportunity for people to be able to say, wow, amazing brand, amazing. I use this XYZ product this way and it changed my life, or whatever. I have my clients, you better believe I'm all about, and Kim and Liza and Franzo, here's the thing. If you've got clients, I can't get my clients on this platform fast enough. Because what happens is, and this is what the brands need to do, is they need to get their big guys, their big influencers on this platform so that they can, even if they just comment and talk about the product, and with that social proof streaming in, that's one thing that I see that they're not leveraging as much. They're not, and that's not even really on their radar. But it went off like a mind bomb with me one time when I had two of my clients, one from New Zealand, one from Australia, on that I do reputation for and reputation management for, and they said, Ryan got me 98 5-star reviews on Google in less than, by building the culture in my staff, and we went from a 2.2 star rating to a 4.5, and as a result, we got X number of, X amount of business. I mean, that's like a huge, that's a live endorsement. People believe live endorsements much more than some of these other reviews that are left on people's websites.
So it's interesting. Brian's keynote's going to be on brand use cases and what's being doing right, what people are doing right, and what people are doing wrong. And I think it's great. I'm sure that you're probably going to talk about Nestle. Got lots of opinions on how that went. And Kim, Liza, and Brian, lots of people connecting here. So good ones for business, photography studios. Great guys. Yeah, definitely great. Lots of great stuff in here.
Yeah.
Lots of great comments. One of the things I also wanted to talk about, and is the fact that I'm starting to reach out to agencies because I see, like, for example, with Periscope Community Summit coming soon, that's going to be one of the biggest conglomerations of scopers. I mean, and I know there's groups of scopers meeting throughout, but this is going to be lots of scopers in one place. And if you're trying to market on Periscope, these are the people that you want to connect with.
Yes.
So to me, it's like brands need to be acknowledging that this meetup is happening and that this is one of the places that they want to be seen.
Yes.
And they want to connect with these influencers. So it's very exciting to see what this is going to become. And I know Ryan's obviously involved. We have to do your announcement, but Ryan's definitely involved in Summit, so it'll be very exciting. And
I am involved. I mean, what's really, obviously one of the things that that I definitely agree with the fact that these brands, it would be in their best interest for sure for them to take part in some way, shape, or form, whether it's sponsorship. It's a mini summit. It is. Do you have cases related to small businesses? Yeah. So bottom line is that brands really need to be embracing this summit, because this is like, by the people, for the people type of a summit.
You're trying to market to people on Periscope. It's like, these are the people on Periscope.
Right. So yeah, just about the business brand can benefit from Periscope. I agree 100%. Just about any brand can benefit. Looks like you're in the right. Yeah. I would love to know. So Brian, I want to hear what he's going to be talking. We're going to connect, by the way, Brian. Hopefully, he said he's gonna schedule himself on my calendar. We're gonna definitely meet. I just sent him my link the other day, so I'm looking forward to meeting with him and anybody else that's going to be out here in San Diego. We're going to go out for one of these nights. We're going to go out to a really nice restaurant out here, and I want to sit down and meet you guys, just like I met Kathy. That's what's the coolest thing. It's funny, 3 weeks before Nestle. Okay, what happened with Nestle, by the way? I want to hear from you, Kathy.
Well, I tracked it all day. It's Sunday last week. They did hashtag first day of summer, because there's summer solstice. They didn't really do Father's Day. It was summer solstice, and they had they did about, I think it was 20 to 22 scopes from the @drumsticks handle. Remember, we ate a drumstick.
Yep. Oh, three bites.
You had 3 bites. It took them three bites, guys. Yeah, the True Value was streaming. They did it from there. The metrics, they really only got like 200 followers. They did 20 scopes. It was a big number of scopes. Amazing visuals. They had parasailing. They had skateboarding in New York. They had water skiing. They had roller coaster. They had a sunset. It was beautiful. But there was no humanizing. Like, there was not a humanizing element. Like, I wanted to see someone say, "Hi, I'm Tom from the Drumsticks team, and I'm eating my drumstick, and I'm enjoying parasailing." It was kind of like not very personal. So they weren't building relationships. They also reached out to, I could only track 2 influencers, or people at least, they didn't promote it. That's interesting, Liza. Liza, I need to do an interview with you. They have to be authentic and real. I want to see the human that's behind the drumsticks.
Yes.
They did Keen. I think that's his name. Keaton. He's a YouTuber that does tech reviews, and he's also on Periscope. And they did an actress called Olga K.
Yeah.
And they did like sponsored streams for these 2 people. These are the only 2 influencers I was able to track. Influencers, or whatever you want to call them, scopers. And it was interesting, but I didn't feel that. I think that they could have done it so much better, especially with all the effort they put into it, with all these amazingly visual scopes. They could have done such a better job if they, instead of doing them all from the drumstick handle, they could have passed the drumstick handle to different influencers, or they could have just used different influencers from different settings and show them eating their ice cream and enjoying it the first day of summer, the Father's Day. I had someone reach out to me saying, You know, why didn't they do a Father's Day thing? She was driving home. She was driving to see her dad with a box of drumsticks with you know, a bow on it, like Happy Father's Day.
Right.
So there's so many missed opportunities, and the visuals. I mean, what I keep going, like they were able to produce beautiful, beautiful visual content, which is key.
Right.
But the engagement wasn't there. I was in the scopes typing in, please engage, you know, show me human, like a human. So
yeah, that's, I think it's passing this, like you said, past the scope. You know, there's some really interesting comments coming in.
Yeah, like Liza,
you know, I agree.
Liza has this experience because she was, I mean, I'm looking at that lesson learned for them. Yeah, completely.
So 1,000 people were on that. That was for Tabasco, I guess, Liza. So they just promoted that. They just promoted that, knowing it was wrong, but hard to prove it. Really, okay. So basically, they got 200 followers out of that from Nestle.
285. It was a very small number of followers to their, you know, their corporate, not their corporate, but their at Drumsticks account. You know, which, in my point of view, it's like you did 20 scopes from like all these locations. You obviously had to pay people to do this.
Right. Right. So just to give you some perspective, like when I did the interview with Alex Pettit the other day, I got almost more than 150 followers just from that one interview. And so I think if they, you know, if they thought about doing like you said, really connecting more with those in some way, shape, or form with those influencers, you know, that campaign 3 weeks earlier got much more engagement. Not just outflow, but getting inflow. Yeah, connecting with the audience is key. And that's where, I mean, I think it's about having like a shared experience. Like, and that's what these do. These you know, these interviews really allow us to do, is to be able to collaborate and to let's see, is the brand putting it? Yeah, is it Liza or Lizza? Yeah, I want to know that too.
Yeah, let us know if we're mispronouncing your name, please.
Yeah. So I think that yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I think the biggest, and I want to know from Brian and you guys, I want to see because I know I get the question a lot of, you know, how does somebody actually go about getting a sponsor for their scope? I know Darcy asked earlier, you know, anyone.
Liza, like Liza Minnelli. So we're doing it right, Liza.
Liza, that's what I thought. Yeah, I remember her saying that the other day. Hi guys. Okay, so
anyone measuring conversion to sales? I don't know if anyone is measuring conversion to sales. Are you measuring conversion to sales yourself?
Yeah, I am. I'm measuring the number of opt-ins right now. I have not actually given or had people have an opportunity to, like, you know, connect with me through a webinar or anything like that, in terms of like selling if I did sell, you know, talk about do anything, it would be like a training for people like brands, like how to leverage Periscope. And one of the things that I would definitely talk to them about is, I sold a car. Oh my gosh. Okay.
So, Liza, do you want to jump in this hangout? Because I can send you the link. I'd love to have you in here, and Brian as well.
Yeah, I would love to.
If you guys want to, I can send you the link immediately. You guys can jump in.
Yeah, I would love to get these guys' perspective about what they're doing, and Brian as well. Send it to, yeah.
Oh, Liza Monet Morales. Sorry, guys. Let me send this out, because I just think this is becoming a really, really good discussion.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that, you know, we have, you know, there's lots of participation in here. Yeah. I just want to make sure that we have, you know, let me see, copy link. So, and I don't know, fans, are you still in there?
Brian, I think he is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why do I call him Fanzo? I'm like calling him Fanzo because you guys call him Fanzo.
I know.
I'm like, it's not me.
The other thing is, and this is the bottom line, and I'm interested to see what Liza says about the Optin page, like because there's, you know, you've got a certain types of social media.
Guys, thanks for jumping in.
Yeah, Twitter being one of them. Twitter is primarily, it's not search based. YouTube is search based. So you can't, in my experience, for digital marketing, it's not you can't, it's not good. You don't get the conversions, you know, talking about conversions, you can't get the conversions that you really are looking for when you send somebody, for example, from Twitter or Facebook, because it's social primarily, it's not search based. If you send those people directly to a landing page versus sending them to a, like if you send somebody to a, she's talking, okay.
Oh, yeah, no worries. I was just talking because someone is saying, imagine when we're able. Liza's in here. Hey, Liza, thanks for jumping in.
There she is.
Hi, I pulled over because I thought this was really important. So I was like, oh my God, I got to jump in and talk to you guys because what you guys are doing is so great. But I feel like it's such the beginning and I want to help as many people get on and like start succeeding from the back.
Yeah, let us know.
Liza, tell folks a little bit about what you like, because maybe to some of the folks in here, you might be fairly new. So can you please tell folks who you are and everything?
Yeah. So my name's Liza Morales, and I'm out here in California. I'm from LA. I live in LA and New York part-time, but really these days I actually live on a plane more than anything. So I'm an actor, TV host, and a content creator in both English and Spanish. I've been doing it, well, I had my first show when I was 10, but I've been on air and really involved in social the last 5 years. So I've been like an influencer and being paid for it the last 4.5 years, which has been pretty nice. So I've loved Periscope pretty much since day one. As I mentioned on Ryan's broadcast the other day, I actually introduced it to Formula E, and it was amazing to see how they've taken off with it. So the last 5.5 weeks, I've taken my Periscope community to Germany, London, China, Japan, and then like 3 different cities in the US, and then I'm back in town and then I leave again. So my whole thing is like, cool, let's all connect the world, and it's been awesome being able to connect with the power of my phone, and then at the same time do these brand deals and introduce it to brands and be like, you guys, it's a game changer. It's not just about my YouTube videos. It's not just about my Vines and my Twitter, which we can still put in a package, but let me add something new for you in the beginning, show you that value, because this is what you're going to want. This is what's actually going to change more than anything the way that you interact with community. So that's kind of how I've introduced it to start off with. Was I kind of even gave it to them as a freebie because I wanted them to see like the power of it, but they, you know, as an add-on, I should say, because they were paying me for other stuff. And I'm like, let me just add one Periscope for you guys to see. They're like, oh, but you're huge on Instagram because you're verified. We know you're huge on Twitter. I'm like, I know, let me just show you. Then all of a sudden, and this is what happened with Tabasco, 3 weeks before Nestle announced theirs, I was in Japan. We changed my flight to get me back to California, to LA, literally for 1 day, because they wanted me to co-host this thing called Tacolandia out here, which is like the battle of the best tacos, and I love tacos. So Tabasco.
Well, and it helps that you speak Spanish too, right?
Yeah. So Latina, right? So a lot of my scopes are bilingual, so people are learning a little bit of something else. So I was in Japan speaking Japanese 1 day, and then I woke up the next day and I'm back in LA speaking English and Spanish. And what was cool was Tabasco was like, well, this is great. Okay, we're going to take your lead and we're going to go ahead, still focus heavy on Twitter and Vine and your YouTube and Instagram. But okay, let's go ahead and do this Periscope thing you're talking about. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Let's pick 2 of the top chefs. Let's do an interview. Let's put it out there. So the vice president of marketing for Tabasco came out. They were all like super nervous. They wanted to see if they could like see what my questions were going to be beforehand. I was like, no, you just got to let it flow. Let the community be there. So we did it. We did a little bit of self-promotion the day before, but the brand was really hesitant. They didn't like want to really promote it too big because I think they were scared of what would happen. And what if no one shows up? We don't want to tell people and then no one shows up. I'm like, believe me, they'll come. So we did the scope and we had more than 1,000 people. It said 1K in the room. And I was like, praise Jesus. Yes. Boom, shakalaka. And so the CEO, like the vice president, he was like tripping out. He was like calling the CEO, which is, I didn't know Tabasco still family owned. And we're like,
isn't that crazy? Awesome? I'm so glad you're here.
Dude, that is.
They literally were dying because they were seeing all the streams. And I was like, all right, you guys, just so we could show them, where are you guys in? Where are you liking tacos from? They're like, Mexico, Argentina, South Africa, Moscow. And it was like everybody was coming in. And they just were like, mind blown. So as soon as it was done, they're like, how do we do that? How do we capture that? Oh my God, take pictures. Oh, this is crazy. It's going so fast. They're loving these interviews. And Danny Trejo was there, who's a friend of mine. So I interviewed Danny about his new brick and mortar taco shop. So I was like, Danny, let's get on Periscope. And he was like, what's happening? So then when Danny started seeing the interaction and everybody was like, machete, Danny's like, yo, that was the coolest interview I've done in a long time. I'm getting on this. What is this thing called? So he got on. And it was just cool. And then basically from there, I've now got like 2 or 3 more bigger brand deals that they wrote out that check and we're like, let's do this. So we all laughed when that Nestle thing came out. And big shout out to you, Kathy, because actually you were the first one that I had seen the link. And then my followers started sending it to me. They're like, ooh, that's a lie. That's a lie. You did it 3 weeks ago. Ooh. And I was like, see, guys, this is what you missed out on. And so then they're shooting themselves in the foot that they didn't send out a press release. But I told them, I'm like, if it's not an ink, it didn't happen. It's like PR 101. You guys should have believed in this when I said it. So they're like, all right, sold. What do we do next? So it was kind of cool.
And I'm glad that you saw that link through what I did, because I was like, this is really interesting. And in my scope, I said, I don't think they were the first ones to do it. And several people have told me, you know what, they weren't. Netflix did something. So it's interesting that you also talk about Tabasco.
Yeah.
It is early. Everyone's writing, it's early in the game. This is exciting. Like, you're just making me get really excited about the possibilities even further. So
I'm so glad that I'm actually on this chat because I get to ask some questions.
Yay!
Seriously. Okay, because seriously, like, there are so many questions. I'm like, holy crap, because like here, like as a digital marketer, like, you know, I deal with a lot, and you know, I deal with a lot of small businesses, medium-sized businesses. Obviously, the ultimate is being able to deal with a brand, a Nabisco, you name it. I mean, a brand. They're a lot of times they're easier to deal with. They don't, they've got so much other red tape going on that it's really not hard to go in there and knock their socks off. I mean, really, because they've got so many other things that their plates in the air. When you go in there and you drop a bomb on them of 1,000 people watching, and they're seeing those comments and they see the hearts, it's like, I mean, that is direct engagement to their.
Yep.
Was that your account? Was that when you went there? Okay.
It was your account.
Okay.
And that's what was funny, because they were hesitant to give me the Tabasco account. They actually opened their account that day. They're like, okay, we're going to watch it. We'll see how it goes. And I'm like, cool. Do you guys want me to do a takeover of your account and I'll ask my followers to come over there? Or do you want to do it on mine? And I could tell they were hesitant because they're like, you could just do it on yours. We'll see. All of a sudden, when it hit like that 1K, they were like, oh my God, should we switch over? I was like, at this point, we can't, because we've already now promoted it and people know to come here. It's going to be a little bit difficult unless we really do the pre-setup and try to do like pass the Tabasco, which I'm like, I'm down to do it. But you need to now have someone else there. And they're like, okay, no, never mind, don't mess it up. So it was funny, like a bunch of executives were huddled around my phone on the back end, and they were all like staring at it because they just couldn't believe the crazy engagement. They're like, this is more engagement than we've seen in our stuff that we posted in weeks. I'm like, this is what I was telling you guys. So then I do Win It Wednesday. So every Wednesday I give my community the opportunity to win something that I really personally love off of my Liza Loves list. So I was like, look, I really do love the new flavors that you guys have coming out. And I appreciate that you want to give me like this whole little like carrot, like stand that has all of them. Do you mind if I actually give it away to someone in my community? They're like, they'll want that? I'm like, watch how this works. So we did a whole Win It, and we did a whole like VIP gift upgrade for someone that was there. People went crazy. They were like, yes, I want it. I love Tabasco. I want this. I want that. They couldn't believe it. So a bunch of people got some hot sauce, which they loved. So of course the brand was nice enough to send it over to me after too. But they were like, oh my gosh, I want to be part of Win It Wednesday. So I'm like, okay, we can talk. I was like, this is how it goes. So it's cool. We got to be like the teachers to them.
Yeah.
And like earlier, that bridge between marketing and legal, like we can do that for them.
Yeah,
I love that you said that. I'm going to jump in, Ryan. I love that she said that, because actually, when I was in New York on Wednesday, I had a meeting with one of the major newspapers because they want to do this. They're still waiting to figure out how to use it, and I think that this is awesome. And it's true. If they ask people, the right people, how to use it and find the right way to do it, we will be the people that build that, that bridge that gap.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's the thing. What you did is you went in there, and because you just did that little demonstration, you have entire street cred. Like they trust you on everything now. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know that you're obviously verified and everything else, but and when you're able to go in there and produce those results instantly, like results in advance, then it's like the doors just fly right open. So that's like, as a digital marketer, that's what we always want. We used to lead with like Google AdWords and produce a few clients for them first, but this is like, turn it on, like broadcast, boom. It's like it's like even more instantaneous. You don't even have to set up it. So you know, I think that's really real. I want to. Are you going to be here for the thing in San Diego this week? The social thing?
Send me information, and I will figure out if I can get down there, because I'm in LA this week. So just send me the info, and I'll figure out how to get down there. I'd love to see you in like person.
Heck yeah, because here's the thing. I mean, how, you know, obviously like Darcy asked some questions and other people about like how does a small business really leverage this? I mean, these are brands. How do you bring this down to the small, medium-sized business? The Periscope.
So, do you want me to jump in? Because I've done
do it. Yeah, no, please share. I mean, you've got the street cred. I love it.
Yeah. So also, I think like with the small business, it's really keen. Like one of the big things for me is, you know, I do a lot of beauty and fashion, and that's actually why I was here in Pasadena speaking at the Fame Expo. So there's a lot of smaller brands as well as a lot of Fortune 500 brands that I work with, but I always tell people, like, if I genuinely love something, I want to share that with my community. So if you are a small brand, like let's say a hair salon, which I recently did a campaign with Mars Hair Studio down in Newport Beach, so getting a little closer south, I went in. I love the woman who does my hair, Marta Stuarty. Big shout out. You guys should follow her. I love that she's always educating herself and like doing stuff. So we went in and I was like, all right, you guys can direct my scope. Like, let's talk about what questions you have. What should I do today? Should I get my hair cut? Should I get it blow dried? Should I get streaked? Should I get peaked? And so it was a really cool like engagement to do it with them and to really show like what she's able to do herself as well. So it's like you can just get something as simple as trying to find out if you're a small business, who's one of your loyal customers that comes to your business a lot, and talk to them of like, hey, would you guys actually mind if we did like an interview with you? Maybe they won't want to do the direct the scope, but you could say, hey, could we do a customer interview and highlight, we think it's really cool that you're a customer and you are, you know, an owner, you're a female owner of a janitor company, and I want to talk to you about that, and we want to profile you. So if you make it a win-win for your customer, it almost seems like you're giving them a shot out, which you really are, but you become now the resource as a small business of being like, look, you want to come to our place because not only is it about the business and it's, you know, and what we do, but we also bring community together. So it's like you're selling, and you know about this, Ryan. It's like you're selling, but without hitting it over the head. You're just providing service to everybody and making it a win-win, which I think is always the way to go.
Yeah, and that's what I've done. That's my equivalent of interviewing the Alex Pettits and the Mark Shaws, and I mean those guys are the equivalent of my customers. Or you know, Kathy, if she'll ever come on my show, I don't know, maybe she's.
I want my invite too, Ryan.
Liza, of course. I mean, like, so that's the same thing. It's basically just connecting with those people, and then it's amazing how when you connect that's a win-win. You know, when you create the win-win situations, then amazing stuff happens. And I think that's what you're saying. I think it's very similar to that. Yeah. So that's really cool. I don't want to hijack your show here, Kathy.
No, guys, this is awesome. This is what my show is all about. It's about creating conversations, connecting people in the community. I mean, you guys all know I'm a community builder. This is what I like to do. You know. So no, by all means. And people were asking like for someone asked someone for like singing talent, how you can use Periscope, and someone asked about monetizing. And monetizing is the big question. You know, but I do. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely could do like a whole hour on how to monetize. I mean, depending on what level you're at and what you want to do. So I mean, we could set up a whole thing to do that separately. Singing, I think it's the same thing. I don't know if you guys have connected with, Minnie Jen, who's doing Pass the Talent. I love that she's doing that. And I think she profiles singers, if I'm not mistaken, on Wednesdays or Thursdays. So reach out to her on Twitter. She's at Minnie Jen. You can also look up #PeriodGirls because she's one of them. And our community is really big about that. I actually just saw her last night. I was there with Amanda Oleander and with her and a bunch of others, and we were just talking about that, about like, cool, if you're a singer, I'm an actor, right? So it's like, if you're a singer, then how can you showcase that talent? Being involved in something like Pass the Talent on a Thursday, she really makes it a point to like have 5 people a week, every single day has a different day dedicated, and then those people get profiled. So reach out to her, get involved, and I would even look at like what Us the Duo did last year on Vine. Obviously, it was a little bit of a different platform, but you can use it in the same way. They've really now have a recording deal. They've really created a whole brand. I had the opportunity last year to cover the Billboard Awards in Las Vegas. I was one of the 6 influencers that they flew out, and Us the Duo was one of them too. And they started their whole brand on Vine, and if you guys know anything about them, it's a husband and wife team, and all they would do is like show their bottom of their faces and only reveal the top of their face at the end of that little 6-second loop of them singing a cappella really cool songs. I mean, it got them all the way to the Today Show. They're extremely talented, and I think the philosophy that, you know, the best rise to the top, it happens. And now by having the power of your phone to connect with the world can see you, and if you are talented, you're going to rise to the top. So like, find what your little niche is. Is it that, you know, you're singing rancheras? Are you singing reggaeton? Are you singing opera? Whatever it is, try to find a community online or reach out to some people that are on Twitter and be like, hey, would you guys want to do like a pass the cast, and like we can each profile and highlight each other. So that's one way to start off. Nice short.
Yeah, is that Darcy?
Yeah.
Darcy, we need to see you. Darcy, come over here.
Get over here. She just sat down on the couch over there, and we're like, wait, everybody's like, yeah, you did not sneak in very well. I'll just tell you that right now. So yeah. This is Darcy. Hopefully you can see her. I don't know if you can see her, Liza. This is Darcy, my fiance.
Nice to meet you. Come to San Diego. I love you.
I'll come down. We'll do a little dance.
Let's do it. We'll take you out. We'll take you out. See, I have some of the best scopes because all these amazing people come in there, and it usually ends up being like such a fun interviews.
Yeah, you didn't know you were going to be doing some dancing on your interview tonight, did you, Kathy?
I think so.
And Liza, I definitely want to talk to you more. Let's figure out a date. I'm gonna send you over my calendar. You can let's set something up for like next week where I can interview and we'll talk more about monetizing because that you said that'd be an hour, so that'd be awesome.
Yeah, we got Courtney Harvey, who you met yesterday at ArtScope. You know, she's saying she would love to have that class that you were talking about. That would be great. And yeah, I mean, Liza, I think that you're, you know, like Ryan said, you have the street cred. You're doing this. I love that you're doing it bilingual, so you're reaching both markets.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I mean, what really is amazing to me is that you're able to, you know, you've got this community. How long is it taking? Were you on from day one, Liza?
I'm sorry?
Were you on Periscope from day one, or when?
Yeah. So I was on Periscope day one. I was actually at Formula E in Miami. I was supposed to take off to South by, and this was the first year that I didn't go to South by because I had been hired to do this thing for Formula E, and so I was on Meerkat, and it was so funny because I had both my video camera and my phone, and I was like double fisting and like shooting both for later for my YouTube videos, but also with my phone. So I was like, this is really cool, and I had all access. So I was like up there, and I was Snapchatting. I was with the drivers. I was in their faces, and they were like, "Oh my God, this is really cool." I was like, "So I'm live streaming." I was like, you know, let's talk. And they're like, "What do you mean you're live streaming?" I was like, "Shit." So they started seeing it. They're like, that is so cool. It's so weird. I was like, I know this is really the future. I know you guys are doing this thing called fan boost to try to gain engagement, but this is really what you should be doing. I'm like, there's this other app that's coming out that's called Periscope. It's not quite out yet, but I was like, we can chat. So we did it, and it was so funny. The fear took over, and because all that, and everyone was like, wait, if you're broadcasting live, I don't know if we have to get permission from who's doing TV broadcasting. Maybe you're going to give something away. I'm like, everybody relax. Let's just all take a breath, check this out. And so they loved it. By the time the race then, so like day 2, Periscope came out, they sent me the link, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in, let's do it. So for a while there, I was going between Meerkat and Periscope, and then what got me was the fact that we could save right away, that people had that replay option, and not only that you could save it to your phone, but if people did miss it, because I do have a global community, that they could come on later, and that's not something that we had with Meerkat. So I was like, all right, game over, Periscope, I'm in. Let's do this. And then, and so then, like, it was just really cool to kind of see how it was growing. And I have to be honest, I got kind of busy for like 2 weeks, and I was like, okay, well, you know, we'll see how this goes back and forth. Maybe I'll spend a little still more time on Meerkat. Maybe I'll do Periscope. In hindsight, I regret it because I should have just gone with my gut feeling, because this is really the platform ultimately where I have found the most success, and also like found my clients have been really happy, but then also my community has been really happy, and love Bug Nation, big shout out to all of them.
Okay, by the way, can you say your Twitter handle, please? Can you shout it? Because you don't have the lower third, so people want to know what your Twitter handle is.
It's xoxoLizza with 2 Z's, please, and that's on every social platform, even the ones that haven't been invented. It's xoxoLizza.
Hey, Liza, what do you think? What do you think? You were on the Scope Stack thing the other day, right? What do you think? Yeah.
I love it because I want to try this Clippy thing. So if you have it, I'm gonna come steal it from you in San Diego.
Clippy thing right here.
Yeah, I love it because I use the Oreo ones.
Hey, I'll send one out to you.
Oh, girl, I love it. We'll do a whole unboxing. I want to do it in Spanish and in English because I have so many people in Spanish that also want to learn. So we can do that together. Like, ooh, boom, shakalaka.
Yeah. No, I mean,
that's awesome.
What's really cool is because really, this is what we're talking about. I mean, and you know, Courtney's a producer. I mean, you're the film person and you're the host. You know, so and this is like you're the personality too. So you know, I'm just learning the personality side and the the team. You know what I'm saying?
You love it. You're natural.
I'm having fun. I mean, I just have fun. But bottom line is that this adds some dimension. And I think it's going to make, like, for the formula stuff. I mean, to be able to see the cars going by while you're, you know what I'm saying, and to have that, the mic where there's no, like the wind and all that. There's no, you can hear, very clear. And I'm curious to see people like yourself that are out there using this stuff. I want to see what, how it adds depth to your scope.
Literally, I wish I would have had this. So yeah, so like I told you guys, I went to Miami, I went to Long Beach, I did it there. I did it at the race also for DHL in Germany, and I had my Oleo, but I wish I would have had that because it was kind of annoying when I had to flip around and it didn't work on the other side. So I was like, oh, I wish the one that had it, so that would have been perfect. But it was so funny to see Periscope grow with each race, and they like finally gave me a shout out. Like the CEO ended up giving me a shout out of like, big shout out to xoxoLizza who got us on, and like now all the drivers are on, they're on, and so in every race, like the first question became like, where's Liza, where's xoxo? So I was supposed to go to London and take the red eye, but there was an issue with the flight, so I ended up missing the last race. So I heard from my client, and they were like, everybody's asking for you, which is now a bigger thing because now we realize like we're actually going to need to have you all season. So it actually helped me book my deal for next season, which I was like, awesome. They're like, and everybody's like, xoxoLizza? Wait, what? She's not here? What do you mean? I'm like, oh, Periscope, I love you.
Well, what? So what do you think about, because I don't know if you saw the other scope, because I'm just, with Ryan Bell, I put together this, I just was thinking about it all night, and I had this epiphany. I whiteboarded it out. My whole office here, I don't know if you can see, but all the walls are all whiteboard. And what I did is
you are gonna love this, Liza. You are gonna love what he's gonna show you because it's totally. I mean, you haven't done this. I'm sure you haven't done this. So, Ryan, take it away.
So seriously, Liza. I mean, when you've got the following, you're already talking to these brands. They're getting thousands of people on these scopes. Like people, a lot of times, especially when they see the product, they see behind the scenes, they just want to buy. So. That's what I saw with Ryan Bell when he went behind the scenes with SanDisk, and he was talking to the people that were the developers, like I said earlier, and everybody like that was on Periscope, was like, I want to buy it. Where do I get it? How do I buy it? And it was like every single comment was like that, and I'm like, as a digital marketer, I was like, I was like, oh my gosh, like I couldn't even. I was like beside myself. I'm like, people want to buy. I'm like, so I mean, I've got this whole like system, a lead, basically where people go to a lead page or a landing page, and all they got to do is text, like the word, product A to 58885.
See, I told you, Liza. I told you.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
So and not only that, but I mean, I've done this for me, and it's like I've gotten like a lot of opt-ins just with the links for my stuff that I like.
Oh my God, let's totally do like an A/B test on it. That is so awesome. I mean, because you guys, I literally sold a car over Periscope, so like this would have been really funny to have had this like incorporated. Oh my gosh, yeah, let's totally plan that.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool.
I told you were gonna be blown away.
I think it'd be cool because ultimately, I mean, and here's the other thing is the fact that you can save these videos, you upload them to YouTube, you put the card in there that takes them to the landing page to buy something at the very least, so that you get the longer than 24-hour, with all the comments and all the hearts and all the engagement. I mean, are your brands doing that?
No, I mean, to a degree, I'm helping them do that a little bit, but they want to do it more. I mean, what's been really cool is like let's say for cars, every car I've test drive, so I've been into cars since I was a kid, so my whole nickname is like the ultimate tomboy in heels. So I'm really girly girl, but I really love and I will get down with cars, cigars, whiskey. Like I'm like the guy's guy and like tech.
Yeah.
So every car that I test drive, I always actually give it a nickname, and it's always a Mister. So it's like Mr. Black Knight was when I had the 9th car that rolled off of the line for Ford, which was the convertible Mustang. So I just had that last year. I actually had it before even any Ford employee had it. And so I had a fan drive up from San Diego actually to see it and ride around with me. We did a whole thing. I shot a video. I posted it on my Insta, and he went and he bought it like the next week. I mean, that's just one of many examples. The recent car that I just had, I did a scope about it. We ended up selling the car. I went to the dealership. So it's kind of crazy because like I already have that engagement with people because it's really real, and I'll really no BS tell you what I love about it, who I think the perfect buyer is, what I think could get improved on. And so even on the smaller end, like today we were talking about makeup and people wanted to know like, oh my God, what are you wearing? What are you doing? And on Instagram, they have something called like it to buy it, and people can click on your photo and then buy what you have. But I was like, it would be really cool if we could do that for video. And I feel like this could be the bridge that kind of gaps that, because I get asked sometimes, I'm like, oh, okay, send me a tweet and I'll send you all the info. Okay, because I can't give it to you right the second. But to be able to tell them that they could just text us, boom, shakalaka, for the win. That's awesome.
Yeah, to be
that
honest,
was Ryan Steinolfson who came up with that.
Well, it's just I'm just using the tools that as a digital marketer that I use for my customers, and it's we give them a landing page, we give them so for me it's periscoperyan.com, or it's text the word Periscope to 58885, and then that gets them that gets them opted in. They get all my links immediately, and if it was product A, they would get a link to the landing page for product A. And then the other thing is just a no-brainer. At least these brands need to upload these Periscopes that you're getting all this engagement on, so that it lives longer than 24 hours. Especially with all those comments, and especially with all the hearts. I mean, so and then you put a link to the to the landing page on there, and yeah, I think that's really cool. It's gonna be neat to be able to sit down with you. Darcy's all excited.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll show you guys what I've done in the meantime, and that was even before me getting fancy, but I don't know if you guys could see this, but because people wanted to know where they could follow me, and so I made, oops, it's upside down. So I had made this to kind of show people like, oh, xoxoLizza, like this is me on all the platforms, but then I actually customized it to whatever hashtag I was, so I made one for each trip that I took, and then this is my generic one, but so this is how they can join my Facebook page up here, but then this is my VIP list, so this is where I actually email people the giveaway stuff, but also like links or things that I'm sharing. And then my normal hashtag is hashtag Liza on the go, but like I did it for my client for Lenovo, like hashtag Lenovo Tech World, or hashtag DHL Formula E. So this was something that I also really recommend to people. It cost me a whopping $3 to get done at Staples after I did the graphics, just because people sometimes are asking for that info. And I thought, oh, well, this is a cool place to put the link. So taking in what you said, I would love where I could just put like the number or the new link, like just have it there.
Yeah, that's exactly, and it would be so easy. But I mean, yeah, so we definitely have to talk some more. I mean, this is great, and I think Kathy, this is I think what you're gonna see is that these are gonna turn more into like masterminds as
Yeah, this is what I'm telling you guys, and that's why I love doing what I'm doing, and because I get all these amazing people here on my scope. And amazing conversations, because the people that are on my scopes want to be here, want to learn, and yeah. So guys, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Kathy, for bringing us together. Like a big shout out again to my community, because I told you they're the ones. So I went to Periscope HQ and Twitter HQ this week, but I had so many of my viewers like DMing me, Facebooking me, Instagramming me, like, you're gonna be at the Periscope Summit, right? Like, you're gonna be there. And I was like, I don't. What are you guys talking about? They're like, you need to be there. And so, I mean, thank God for social that I reached out to you, and I was like, Kathy. And that day I put two and two together. I was like, oh. That's the girl who I followed who was sharing the Nestle stuff. I was like, oh, great minds think alike. But it was really cool to kind of just see like our community, because I feel like we're all finding each other, and that's what Amanda Oleander and I were saying, that I feel like with Periscope, very quickly we're all finding out who's kind of with that same frame. And what I like, unlike some of the other social networks that I saw from the get-go, is this one, people aren't jumping in it to be like right away, hey, I want to be famous or whatever. Or at least that's not my experience with people I'm meeting. It's everybody's like, hey, how can we help each other grow? How can we strengthen our Periscope community so that everybody's benefiting it? Like, you're providing great actual tools for people, Ryan, which is great. Alex provides great resources. Mark Shaw gives awesome advice. I mean, so each one of us, is providing some form of service, and I love that. And like even what Amanda's doing, bringing community together.
Yeah.
No, definitely. And that's why, you know, Summit is going to be about community, bring everyone together. Ryan's going to be there. Liza, I would love to talk to you offline about it, definitely. Amanda's going to be there. I mean, we're making a whole bunch of announcements this week, and it's just, and you know what? And what I'm telling the people that I'm reaching out to, the brands, is like, you want to be at Summit because this is going to be the biggest conglomeration of scopers. These are the people that you're marketing to on Periscope. You know, so it's just very exciting.
Yeah, it is. Oh, I think, did we lose Liza?
Liza, are you still there? Oh, I think we lost her. But everyone's saying how amazing she is, and they love her energy.
Yeah.
We can definitely agree. Definitely agree. So do you want to, I think we're going to shut her down for the night.
Okay.
But Ryan, thank you so much for being my guest. I appreciate it. And this is what I love to do. I love connecting people.
Yes.
Ryan, are you shooting with your camera horizontal so it fits TV? No, she is amazing, guys. It has been an awesome scope, guys. I'm very happy. I'm sorry we lost Liza. I mean, what a great job, Ryan. This was a fantastic show. Thank you, Shannon. My shows are actually turning out to be really awesome, and I'm so happy for everyone that comes in here and, you know, participates. So, guys, thank you so much for being here. Ryan, do you want to sign off?
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much. I mean, I'm glad that we were able to add Liza to the mix, because ultimately, like, you know, I've got my slice of understanding of brands and how it applies to digital marketing. And so it was really interesting to hear her perspective, because she's in there every day. You know, I know what I would do as a digital marketer. That's a very different slice than what she's got in as a person.
Oh no, we lost Ryan too. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me tonight. We lost Ryan and Liza, but thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And until next Sunday, you know, more and more amazing guests. Thank you, guys. And yeah, feel free to share this. Feel free to, you know, be back next Sunday. So, all right, Ryan, we lost you, but that's okay. Good night, y'all. Thanks for joining.